Tracy Martin.
Kia ora, Mr Speaker. New Zealand First had a very strong discussion about this particular bill at caucus, and originally it was the cost of the inquiry that concerned us, and did we feel that it was necessary because we already knew that there were some reviews going on. So there was some reviews in the systems, and the National Party members continue to repeat that that was adequate. What's unfortunate is that after those reviews, more breaches happened. And so New Zealand First has decided they will be supporting this bill. We'd like to see it go to Select Committee. It's a very interesting series of contributions by National Party members to date. It's the contribution from Melissa Lee and the contribution from the member who just resumed his seat. Both make it sound like we've moved into a digital world, so therefore too bad, you're just going to have to accept being hacked, which is really interesting, because Melissa Lee said, and she repeated it again and again if you look at her contribution, that if somebody wants to attack you, they're going to attack you, they're going to steal your information. Now, this bill's not actually necessarily all about people being attacked. Mr Bakshi just said the same thing. He apparently has forgotten because he's repeating himself now. But this bill is not necessarily about being hacked. This bill didn't come out of somebody hacking information. This bill came out of government departments dropping it, accidentally sending it to other people. And this bill is not about each individual government department. The members on the other side like to use the phrase, and have used it in this House today, about a whole, here we go, better get it right, whole of government approach. They like to use the phrase a whole of government approach. And that is exactly what Ms Curran is suggesting inside this bill. That is exactly what the purpose, if you have a look at the last 3 lines, the last sentence of the bill itself on the explanatory note, it says, the Commission will also examine the agency's capacity to respond to breaches in the future and how to best to prevent further future unauthorised access to private information. But it's across government departments. It's about the point of weakness. That is what we see that actually needs to be addressed here. That is what the Commission inquiry, that is what is different from Deloitte's and KPMG. It's not about a single department. It's about this point of transference between departments. And since these reviews were done, this government has actually put through several pieces of legislation in the last 2 years, 2012, 2013, 2014. One of them has actually been a mass collection of data of every school leaver in this country. Every school leaver in this country. I'm referring to the Social Security Amendment Bill. Every 16, 17 and 18-year-old New Zealander now has, under their national student number, all their academic data sent to the Ministry of Social Development. And the Ministry of Social Development then outsources into certain contractual areas this data about these young people's academic outcomes to contracted people in certain areas around New Zealand, and a risk analysis is done on every single one of those young people. How likely are they to become a beneficiary? What are their parental circumstances? Are they a child of a parent? The child of a parent who was on a benefit. And this data is all done. It's all been brought into play through the Social Security Amendment Bill, and that data is now held like it's never been held before by this government. And all Ms Curran and this bill is suggesting is that it's actually worth $4.5 million to the New Zealand public to do a commission of inquiry, to have a look at the weak points of transference around this data and others, because we've seen data leak out from this government and their departments. And surely, if ever there was a saying, a stitch in time saves 9 is one of them. If we keep having to employ KPMG, if we keep having to employ Deloitte's to go and look at breaches when they happen for each individual department, how much will that add up to? Instead of investing $4.5 million, let's get the systems right across Parliament, because the cloud is a reality. We know it's here. Let's look at it in its reality and make sure the New Zealand public believe it's safe. We urge the government just vote it through to Select Committee.
I call